There, you guys are lively tonight. I'm not gonna be able to get to everybody's chat. If you do send a super chat, I'll make sure to just stop what I'm doing and get to that, even as it's for like $1. Like I'll do that, but I'm not gonna not get to your chat because you're not paying. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm gonna try to get to everybody's, right? But if you want to like get ahead in the line, go ahead and throw down a super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Help us pay some bills around here. Help me pay for this fucking ridiculous microphone. You see this Shure mic? It's the same microphone that Joe Rogan uses. My microphone crapped out on me on Monday. So during the live stream. So I went ahead and it's like, well, I'm going to get the greatest mic like in the history of the world. And so that's what I have right now. Okay. Let's get to the chat. I want to get to your guys' feedback here. Let's see. Alter the Squirrel says 1,000,000 times better. Hell, Elena had some vocal inflection in her promo. I was worried about her promo. Here's what they did. I thought that they gave her some good things to say. I don't know that she was overly scripted or not. She's not very fluid the way she does her promos. It doesn't come off as like crazy natural, but I did think that she performed it well, and they kept it short. And that was one of the big problems last week. It wasn't that they had a lot of promos, it's that they were all too long, right? Like the system one lasted forever, and I thought Dango and Eddie Edwards were gonna fuck at one point, right? And then they introduced Mr. Elegance, and they just took up so much time, and then they followed it with a really bad match. I'm not a guy that thinks you need to have 10 matches every week and they'll have to be 5 stars. Tonight they had 4. I think 4 to 6 is a good range, right? And I think that you need to have a lot of promo time, but the promos have to be short. I don't think that the promo should like go over 30 seconds, unless it's, of course, it's a guy that is a super like an out of this world talented promo like Mike Santana. They got 2 guys in this company that could fucking talk their asses off. It's Mike Santana and it's Steve Macklin, and it's those 2 guys. Like EY's pretty good, and like everybody, like Nick Nema's pretty good, and a lot of people are pretty good. But Mike Santana and Steve Macklin can sit in the middle of the ring and captivate an audience by telling their stories, right? And that's what we got tonight from Mike Santana. But for the most part, everybody should just be kept 30 seconds or less, right? Let's see. Heel Eddie is always better than babyface Eddie Edwards. I just don't want to see another husband-wife feud between those 2. Yeah, that did worry me. It's like, okay, Alicia's not in on this, because they did that before when Eddie turned heel. They did that before, and I don't need to see them in an angle together. Or maybe they're going to write off Alicia Edwards, which would piss off BQ. But maybe they're going to get a different like heel manager for the group. I could see that, but I think Alicia Edwards is a good heel. She's very bland as a babyface, but I think that she's just like very good as kind of like that, like kind of Southie, like Boston, like probably smokes cigarettes and sips on whiskey and it's like, cusses at the dinner table, like one of those ladies. Like she just seems like the type. I'm probably completely wrong, by the way, but I just like when I like how she acts. I think she does a good job of it, right? She's good. Nicholas Riley is a nice show this episode. Macklin's definitely gone. Damn, yeah, I'm worried about that. And then he says, great seeing Trey back. Hopefully EY is fired because he's on a handshake deal and brings the least value on screen out of the other characters. I want Trey to take that international title off Stacks immediately. I agree. I do agree with you. Okay, what's this Nap 528? TNA Plus audio is still rolling while they tape another live TV episode. TNA, you're the best. I love TNA so much. The audio finally cut out after 10 minutes. So you got any scoops, brother? What happened? Like, let us know. Good episode, like the system swerve. I do too. Dinesh says it's a bad look for everyone. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. I don't know what that's there. Okay, Lucky Charms got some nitpicks. I have our 2 matches ended the same way with the roll up. I did notice that, yeah. And they did 2 swerves with the Elegance brand and the system. System had 2 swerves itself, so we did 3 swerves tonight, right? But you know what? Like I get what you're saying, but they needed to jumpstart some storylines for sure. And then but they didn't need to do the swerve with Ash by Elegance to get her to like return. Like they could have done that in a different way, but it's TNA. They live for the swerve, swerve, bro. Paul Mathewson's great show this week. Couple audio problems, but the crowd, they were into it. And Pooh acting was good. Okay. I don't know who Pooh acting is. All right. Colby Cooper. Colby, my man. He says, I thought that the ending was spectacular. Exactly the kind of shocking moment TNA needs right now. They're swinging big. I agree. I agree with it. I like the new heel faction. Problem is, and what I was kind of getting at is like I like Bear Bronson. I kind of like predicted him. I was like, it's either gonna be Bear or it's gonna be EC3 or Matt Taven that's gonna be in that group. He's not a marquee name, and Cedric Alexander, I like him. He's a great wrestler, and I think he could be a pretty good heel, but he's also not like marquee. In fact, I think the only like marquee guy in that group is like Eddie Edwards. So maybe what you do is you got like Eddie as the leader, and Bear Bronson and Brian Myers be a tag team. Brian Myers trained him, so that makes sense, right? Although Eddie and Brian were a great tag team, but that was because Moose was the leader of the group. So they kicked Moose out, and now I think Eddie's the leader. So now you do a feud between Eddie and Moose, and I'm like, count me in on that because they have feuded before, and their feuds were always pretty good. Okay. All right, guys. I gotta get to some other topics. Let me just knock out a couple more chats here. Very light on NXT, which was good. I agree. Like, good. Thank you for pointing that out, dude. Did great tonight. Need them to come to San Francisco. Yeah, for sure. S Bubs says, I'm not a frequent TNA watcher and thought last week was an awful show. Well, you're not alone in that. I think nobody in this chat is going to come in here and defend that show last week. But I tuned in this week and out of morbid curiosity for Feast or Fired and actually enjoyed the show overall. Well, there you go. I think this guy's going to come back. Okay. And Josh says, yeah, it's 4:20 a.m. I'll listen on Patreon when I wake up. Have a good rest of the stream, pal. All right, brother. I'll make sure to get that up on Patreon before I go to sleep tonight. Sometimes I just like straight to bed because it's late and I get up early. But for you, brother, I'll get this up on Patreon. Okay. All right, a couple more. I absolutely hated last week's episode. This week they totally redeemed themselves. The ending was amazing, an actual shock, which is rare nowadays. My only gripe is the backstage audio problems. Yeah, that was like an issue all throughout the show. It's like, can you guys get your shit together with the microphones? Okay. TNA just dropped the official re-signed graphic for Trey. Cool. I'm going to get to that story next. Okay, perfect. All right. And we got wrestling covers. All right. My man, hey, thanks for the Baron Corbin graphic, brother. I appreciate you. I sent him a DM and I was like, dude, I need this graphic more than I need air. and he smartly did not put his name on the graphic. I think I just kind of outed him though as the one that made it for me because I was like trolling AEW fans last night. so I appreciate you, man. Like Baron Corbin was on AEW last. Well, he was like in a dark match. And AEW fans are not happy. And when they're upset, that makes me happy. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Let's go